from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And we back, man. You think I forgot? You think I ain't gonna finish exposing the diabolical scheme that's going on by the left? Yeah, man. You got to expose it. You got to talk about it, or else, it'll just sneak up on you. And then about 5 years from now, when we're all living in communist China or something, then we'll be whining. So we got to go ahead and expose it now. So this way, if it ever happens, people can't say, man, I didn't see this coming. No. See, that's why you got to spread my videos. You got to share my videos, hit that like button, all that good stuff. So if this is your first time joining the live stream, sit back, relax, okay, and listen to the 8-track. And the rest of you guys, y'all know what to do. Hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Make sure that you can get my notifications by setting yours to all notifications, please. And I get people right now, I'm looking at people already telling me that they can hear me. So with that being said, I can get busy so we can get out of here to decent hour. Oh, yeah, I feel like rocking the planet. I rock the planet, beating my chest like a real holder, real holder, real holder. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here, gorillas in here, gorillas in here, gorillas in here. Now, I just saw somebody say this their first time checking out the show. I believe it's Terrence. Terrence, what's happening? Welcome to the show. Now, let everybody know I got a Kevin's Corner store. All right, you can check it out, get some merch, all that good stuff. Number on the screen, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, then just in case they decide to go ahead and censor me for dis and misinformation, then, you'll know how to find me. And then finally, if you want to support the channel through my Cash App and PayPal, I have those links below each video. Now, with no further ado, if you were here yesterday, I gave a great intro to this whole concept of dis and misinformation and hate speech. Come up with language and terms and definitions that could allow them to continue to control the population by force. See, back then, in the day, before we were all communicating and exposing their lies and all of that stuff, and before this populist movement started, they were able to, for the most part, manipulate the masses, keep us contained, make us think that we have this, illusion of, a republic, illusion of, the right to vote and who we vote for, it actually counts. We had our doubts. We were wondering about it. We were like, you know what? I'm sure they probably put whoever they want to put in there. But we really didn't know for sure until Trump came along. And we saw them go ahead and reveal who's behind the curtain. That's right. Toto went over to that curtain and snatched it back. And we saw the raggedy whiz back there working those controls. And from that point on, they had to come up with a new alternative method of getting us back in line. See, which you start hearing definitions and terms such as dis and misinformation. Okay, which is basically information that hurts our agenda, threatens our power, because there's no mysterious human that has been given the right to decide what is dis and misinformation. See, so the people who came up with this idea, they're the ones that want to be in control of determining that. See, that's how it goes. They want to play the part of God. They want to be able to go in and say, we can read Trump's heart. We know what he really meant. Yeah, we know what these folks are voting for him for. They vote for him because they're all racist and white nationalists. And if they're black, they're sellouts. There it is. See, we know what's going on really in the hearts of all of these people who now realize we ain't got no clothes on. Now realize that we've been manipulating them. So since we can't manipulate them anymore, we'll come up with the concept that will allow us eventually to censor them, to get them back in line. See, if we can't just go ahead and change their minds, what we want to do is just stop them from talking. We want to go ahead and scare them. We want to threaten them. And the only way we can do that is we got to get around that pesky First Amendment and the second one. But they got to start with that First Amendment, Because that First Amendment is what's been allowing us for the last 8 to 10 years to dig into them. Yeah, man, Trump dropped that out there, fake news, and boy, did we run with that. Oh, yeah, they were once proud to be the, arbiters of truth. And here we come talking about, that didn't happen. Actually, here's the video footage right here, and this and this and that. And they lost control. They lost containment. And at that point, they decide, well, we got to go ahead and come up with a new tactic. Okay, fine. The monkey's out the bag. They know what we're about. So what? What we're going to do is use our position and our authority to come up with being able to first start off demonizing them and saying these people are spreading lies, which we call dis and misinformation, and we determine that. But secondly, it ain't just the fact that they're saying you're spreading dis and misinformation. It's accompanied with, and that's dangerous. See, you really can't enforce it or start taking us towards legislation unless you present the danger of it. How does people saying things that really they don't like, but they're calling dis and misinformation, how does that kind of hurt society? Why should we legislate that? Why should we start tweaking the First Amendment? Because you know what they want to do. They're like the devil. They're like the devil. Okay. If the devil gets his big, nasty, crooked toes in something, he's coming all the way in. So if they're able to just say, we just want a little bit of that First Amendment to be altered, just a little bit, you think they're going to stop with a little bit? Yeah. And then there's all kind of thoughts out there like, well, who's determining? What is dis and misinformation? Us. Well, who's determining what is hate speech? Us. And because you guys don't obey us anymore, we just want y'all to either be super quiet or we'll punish you if you get out there and say things that we don't like. So that's where we're at. And last night's show, I showed clips of politicians all seeming to focus on one theme. They were all talking about the dangers of online mis and disinformation and what needs to be done about it. So you know what that means, right? They're signaling to us that if we can get back in control, if we can get over the Trump hump and get back in power, boy, all of this build up, all of these segments that we, were on TV and interviewing and saying the biggest threat is dis and misinformation, we're going to use that to go ahead and start formulating some type of policies that would target people who use dis and misinformation, including powerful people who's a threat to them, like Elon and Musk, which we're going to be talking about tonight. But before we do that, I was watching Dave Rubin today, and I said to myself, Dave Rubin must have watched my live stream last night, because look what he was talking about. Let's get started, y'all. So why do the left needs censorship part 2? Thank y'all, by the way.
Here's Psaki and Gay Pete, and they're also concerned that misinformation is far worse than, say access to power, fixing roads, things of that nature.
Yeah. Now, isn't it strange that all of these fake news networks and commentators and Democrats and bureaucrats and all of that, isn't it strange that in the midst of all of the stuff that's going on with this hurricane, all of the calamities, all of the folks that are still without power, without food, without electricity, without all of these things, just stranded, but yet they're all focused on the spread of dis and misinformation that exposes their response to this. Instead of just saying, man, I don't care, I ain't got time to be listening to what these folks are saying. We got a job to do. We still got people up there in the mountain. We still got folks stranded. We don't know how many folks is on their last day or so. Man, we ain't got time to be stopping and addressing things like dis and misinformation. We got to get it done. Then we'll talk about that at some later date. But nope, what they have done is prioritize the narrative over the reality. And now, isn't that strange? They got on the news last night. Y'all saw my clips. They was talking to Lord Trump, not about all of the folks that ain't got money, food, all that. No. We know it's bad. We know that's bad. But what's worse is Donald Trump out there saying that the government is only giving out $750. That's misinformation. And He said that they're taking money from FEMA and using it for the illegal immigrants. That's disinformation. You know what that does? That puts people in danger. Yeah, that might confuse people. People might not be able, for whatever reason, to go out and apply for any resources, all because of what Donald Trump said. But really, the true motive, which I like to always expose, is the way they're handling this reflects poorly on Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And it's an election coming up. Therefore, we can't have people out there that ain't stranded, that ain't even a part of, unfortunately, the tragedy. But yet they might hear about, wait a minute, this administration was giving money from FEMA to the dang on illegal immigrants? Now that ain't right. Maybe we should reconsider who we vote for in these last couple days leading up to the election. So now they're trying to protect that because, I don't care how you cut it. It's not cool to sit back and say, yeah, we spent money on illegal immigrants that we could have been using on our own people. So the news is trying to help the Democrats with this narrative. And then they send out Gay Pete, Petite Pete, y'all. And look what they're talking about.
You and your department have been so involved. How damaging has the misinformation been? And what impacts are you seeing in terms of the recovery and the people who are trying to find loved ones and get accurate information?
How damaging is the fact that helicopters still haven't been flown in and the military wasn't deployed right away. And these folks that are trying to get their $750 are getting rejected. And folks are on the internet recording videos saying, look, man, we're being interrupted trying to help these people. How damaging is that, Pete Booty? You would think she would ask him that, right? You would think she would draw her questions from all of the testimonies that we're all looking at online. Where folks are going, man, I don't know what's going on, man. I ain't heard from them. Ain't nobody coming in there. You would think she would be drawing her questions from that to hold Pete Booty and the administration accountable for their lack of effort. But instead, how damaging is the missing disinformation? In other words, Pete Buttigieg, I want you to come up here and say that anybody who exposes our raggedy policies that, led to a lot of this, they're spreading lies and it's dangerous. Remember, it always got to be dangerous.
Well, it can have a real cost for people on the ground who are already dealing with so much.
What cost? What cost? See, you don't want to get into the meat and potatoes, right? It could have a real cost. It could. Show me how it has. That's what I want to know. So don't be sitting back talking about it could happen. See, they like to dibble and dabble in the what ifs. Just create the possibility in the minds of the viewer. This could lead to dis and misinformation. I mean, this stuff could lead to dangerous things. People might decide, since Trump said those things, I'm not signing up. I'm not going to be waiting for resources and stuff. So now here come Pete Buttigieg running interference.
And, it's right up there with making sure that people have access to transportation, making sure they get their power back on, making sure communications come back. Another part of that is making sure you can get good, accurate, and useful information. Unfortunately, that has become, in many ways, more difficult in the current digital information environment.
Now, notice the overall thing, guys. It all circles back to them stressing that mis and disinformation is dangerous. They're all circulating this narrative, guys. They're laying the groundwork for later on, if they can get past the Trump hump, to revisit any application that they got on TV and said, well, during the hurricane, they were spreading that, and Elon Musk allowed it to be said on Twitter. And then Trump was saying it. And you know what? We need to go ahead and really dive into how we can handle these folks out there telling lies against us. See, so that's what they're doing. And notice what this bum right here had the nerve to say. It really could damage the people. How in the world could this be dangerous to the people on the ground by folks saying that they're only offering $750? What is that going to discourage somebody from applying for it? They say, well, I don't want it then, if that's all they're giving me. How is that going to be dangerous to the people by them hearing about the fact that FEMA spent money on illegal immigrants? How is that going to, in this context, put these people in danger? Do you think that people stranded on mountains, people standing on top of their house, is going to tell the helicopter that's coming to rescue them, keep it moving? Because I overheard Trump say, y'all spent money on illegal immigrants and I don't need y'all rescue. You think that's going to make them do that? So they can't really explain how that's putting people in danger, because really what it's doing is putting Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and their raggedy decisions and mucus and all of them in danger. It's exposing the fact that they care more about illegal immigrants than American citizens. That's what's really being put in danger, not these people on the ground. But they conveniently use those people as an excuse.
AP, did you just say that misinformation is up there with people having access to power and roads?
He did.
I'm pretty sure that when your house has been blown away and you're missing several family members and you're underwater, your major concern is not misinformation. It's missing your wife. That might be a problem, but it's not misinformation. But this is what they want to do. If you question them, if you ask about their $750 that they give you and they're concerned about misinformation while you're missing your spouse, they will tell you you are dangerous. And why do they want you to be dangerous? Because once they can label you dangerous, the next thing they can do is censor you.
Bam! Now, I had to go ahead and insert that clip. I was sitting there listening to him and I said, man, you know what? This brother is talking about the same thing I was talking about last night. Not only that, he used the same clips of Crooked, which I call the evil one, Crooked Hillary. Yeah. Of dang on Homer Simpson head, which is Tampon Tim. Those clips, Kamala Harris. He didn't play the John Kerry one. He ain't played the John Kerry one. But that one right there was direct. John Kerry, that was direct. Bill, what is his name? Bill, I can't believe I forgot his name. I almost called him a good friend of mine named Bill Dobosh. Bill, whatever his name is, that dude. Anyway, those folks last night on my show were all talking about the dangers of mis and disinformation. Bill Gates, that's what it is. Thank you. I had a brain fart. He was talking about how the spread of dis and misinformation might discourage people from getting the you know what. Yeah, and I'm thinking it should have. But y'all went ahead and used that mess and said it's dangerous and censored us. Now, if they're able to do that before legislation is passed to do it, before they actually do some type of alterations to the First Amendment or just get rid of it, imagine what they will do if they did get rid of it. Imagine what they're going to do if somehow they're able to get rid of Elon Musk, they're able to deal with Trump and get legislation passed to get past the First Amendment. Boy, I tell you, we're going to have to go underground. We have to be hiding out in basements like the apostles was after Jesus rose and was resurrected. They was having church in a basement, man, in caves and stuff like, all right, hallelujah, and praise the Lord. Let's hurry up. Let me hurry up to the sermon, man. The Romans might be coming in any second. That's what they're gunning for. So let's go ahead and get into some of the reactions because of this man right here. Oh, he's the first recipient.
What do you make of this?
So y'all see the muskrat? Y'all see him jumping, jump. Everybody say, jump. Yeah. And guess what? Got the attention of all of these networks. Now, you would think they would mind their own business. I'm just saying. Elon got the right to show up and support whatever candidate he wants. But see, Trump's not a normal candidate. He's not a normal candidate. He's a danger to democracy, see? And anybody who supports him then, of course, becomes a danger to democracy, especially if you own the biggest platform for folks to communicate. Yeah. See, before he went ahead and bought X, They loved him. Oh, they loved him. Yeah, he was a hero, man. But they ended up driving this man right into the arms of Trump because he recognized something that was a little familiar. He's like, wait a minute. I mean, I'm from South Africa. I know what apartheid looks like. I know what a regime that wants to suppress the people looks like. You think I came all the way here to America so I could still have the same type of governing that took place over there or in some of these other countries? Nah, I'm not on it. And he took away their toy, and now they're gunning for him. So you already know who's dangerous when they decide to make it their mission to come out and do hit pieces like this. Now watch all of this dis and misinformation that they're about to be spreading about Elon Musk spreading dis and misinformation.
This alliance between Trump and Musk.
Yeah, I mean, it's striking. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious from Trump's side, if you like Trump, he likes you, right? That's sort of always been the calculus for him. From Musk's side, Musk obviously finds Trump's authoritarian leanings appealing, right?
That's the first piece of dis and misinformation. His authoritarian leanings appealing. What makes Trump authoritative? See, that's your opinion. But he's stating it as if it is a fact. And then he is alluding to Elon Musk for some reason admires that. Just like they always say, Trump admires dictators. Trump admires Hitler. Trump admires Mao and Mussolini. He admires Kim Jong-un. He admires Putin. They just, because they're so in touch with what dis and misinformation is and truth, that they're able to be clairvoyant and get in the hearts of people. That's what Elon Musk is doing. He loves it. He loves the fact that Trump is going to be the dictator that we're saying he's going to be, even though he didn't say he's going to. You know what? Never mind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because our bubblehead audience that's watching this, that'll go right over their head. Nobody's going to ask this man, no, wait, whoa. Where are you getting that from? What makes you think that, I mean, did Trump say that's what his goal is? To just become an authoritative? He wants to be a dictator. Why would he want to do that again? He got 4 more years. I mean, what is he going to do after that? Isn't he kind of old to be talking about, I'm going to go ahead and become all of these things. These folks just throw that out there and keep it moving. And look at Anderson Pooper. Watch what he does.
He certainly agrees with him on immigration. He's taken a very constantly just putting out fake information about immigration.
What's fake about it? That's what I want to know. Oh, the amount of folks that came across the border, all of the executive orders that's been removed, or how about all of the new hidden policies that y'all have created to allow these folks to come in and make it appear to be legal? I mean, what about maybe how y'all are, sneaking folks around in the dead of night and ciphering them off into, red states and seeing if you could water down the population, the voting population. What about or allocating funds towards them to make sure they're nice and cozy while they're here in the United States? Because then, of course, they'll owe you a favor when it comes down to voting time, which all of a sudden you see all the Democrats talking about amnesty. That's right, though. What the goal is to get amnesty for these. You know what? These people are there. They're just like us. All that stuff. Are we all imagining this? Is Elon Musk just making this up? But these folks just come out and say all of the lies he's talking about immigration. Yet we all know that this is true. We all know what they're up to in regards to immigration. They're not bringing these people here because they just love these people and want to see them have a better life. No, that's not why they're bringing them. We all know the game. And yet if you mention that, they just say you're lying. That's dis and misinformation just because the Democrats say that's not what we're doing. But all of their behavior, all of their policies, all point towards that's what they're doing. Don't even want IDs to vote. Why would they not want IDs? See, these are things that I go, now that seems like somebody who want a broken loosey-goosey system. But when you question them and throw that out there, then you're spreading dis and misinformation by revealing our diabolical scheme, and you're putting these precious illegal immigrants in danger. Not our voting process. No, that's not what you're putting in danger. Not all of the folks in America impacted by these illegal immigrants. Now, you're not putting them in danger. You're putting the legal immigrants in danger. Can you believe this garbage? So now here he is, starting off with some straight up lies, and yet talking about the Elon Musk is lying.
that comports with what Donald Trump has been saying on the campaign trail. But it also is obviously the case that Elon Musk responds to Donald Trump's strongman tendencies, right? And in this Butler site, that's this quasi-religious site for being the place that really made Donald Trump, the target that he always presented himself as. And it makes perfect sense. That was, at that moment, Musk signed on to Donald Trump's campaign. He's going to be there with him. And I think it reflects the importance of this site in sort of the Trump mythology.
Ron, you've written at length about the Trump-Musk alliance.
Now look at this. He brings on two people who don't like Elon Musk and Trump, and then ask them, what do you think about the Musk-Trump alliance? Basically, please vomit up negativity about Elon Musk. Undermine Elon Musk. Try to discredit Elon Musk. Demonize Elon Musk. Call Elon Musk a liar. Call Elon Musk some type of person who wants to go ahead and connect with a dictator because he got dictator tendencies too. He love it. He love it. So Anderson Pooper is going to sit back and allow these two hosts that are really hitmen to come out and just fire in on Elon Musk unabated.
I know you say tomorrow's rally is a full circle moment. What do you mean by that?
Well, in the moments after the assassination attempt, that's when Elon Musk, who had been kind of already thinking about endorsing Trump, that's when he tweeted out, "I'm fully going to back President Trump in this election. This is the moment that I'm choosing." And he went full bore into it.
Why did he do that? Why did he do that, Mr. Asian man? That's what I want to know. Did he do it just because he decided now I'm a white nationalist? After seeing Trump jump up there and pump his fist, I'm a white nationalist now, and I'm going to join him. That did it. That activated my white nationalism. Is that why he did it? I mean, this guy, though, it's obviously after that. Well, a lot of people did that because they saw real leadership and somebody responding to adversity and somebody who loves the country enough to put his own life in danger and keep going. That's why.
He started tweeting photos, that iconic photo of President Trump holding up his fist, bloodied from the ear, and he bought into those emotions, and so now he's going back to Butler. He's kind of closing that loop. He is going to lend his support.
Well, what do you think Musk gets out of it?
Now you see this? Once again, see, these are all the talking points to say, let's go ahead and throw these questions out there so y'all can go ahead and create false ideas, narratives, and assumptions. That's what I'm gonna do. What do you think, Musk? Yeah, and Anderson needs some bass. Even though I got this sped up, if I slowed it down to where most people would sound like this, Anderson would still sound like this. Dang on, I'd be like, dang, can I slow it down anymore? That's as slow as it goes. And he's still in the octave of C sharp. But nonetheless, here he is. What do you think Musk gets out of this? Please tell me, instead of me asking Musk. So listen to this theory, this mis and disinformation.
There's plenty, and there's plenty of potential conflicts of interest. We're talking about a guy who runs multiple companies that are under investigation by government regulators.
Why? Oh, because he stole Twitter? That's what it is? Yeah. And now he got the big platform and a lot of followers. And of course, he supports Trump now. And all of a sudden, anybody who supports Trump, isn't it odd that they all come under investigations and all of that stuff? Isn't that odd? Wow. I mean, anybody who switches over and decides that I'm going to leave the left and I'm going to go ahead and support Trump, all of a sudden they get hit pieces done on them on CNN and other networks like that. Prior to that, they're beloved. Yeah. But now this guy's going ahead and dropping all kind of thoughts in the heads of these people. But notice we said it's all kind of stuff. It could be anything. I've been locked up, for example. And I'm saying, now, wait a minute, man. That sounds like Nasty Pelosi. When Jen Psaki, Gizmo, when Jen Psaki was asking Nasty Pelosi, what do you think, Donald Trump is getting from Putin? Well, it could be anything. It's probably financial. Just threw that out there. Probably financial. And I'm saying, wow. So you asked her that and said, fill in the blanks. We'll go ahead. Now imagine if a Republican started just speculating about what could be the motive of a Democrat. You know what? I got to stop you right there. There's no evidence of that. There's no evidence. But yet this guy, Look what he's vomiting up.
I think of something like NHTSA, which is investigating Tesla for its self-driving, or the FAA, which is investigating SpaceX. And so you have a marriage or an alliance here that could end up being very beneficial to him when it comes to those investigations.
Yeah, he's trying to give Anderson some red meat. He's fishing out that. There's he could be possibly maybe, but no, I don't not sure for real. But there's a good chance that. So now you throw out a whole bunch of possibilities. You do all of that, and you hope that the people would just start to let their imagination go wild. Yeah, they must be up to something. And I'm pretty sure Elon got. But it can't just be because Elon loved the country and want to preserve the way things are and protect our constitution. It can't be that. I'm pretty sure if he's dealing with Trump, it got to be something evil. I'm sure he's going to get some type of benefit out of it. And then what does Anderson Pooper do?
Phil, do you think it's also, ideological?
Yeah, it's
right back to the other propaganda. Right back to the other hitman. Here's one for you. I'm going to throw it up there. I want you to shoot it out of the sky. Do you think it could be ideological?
It's hard to see that it wouldn't be. Musk is just so ferociously pro-Trump online, right? Obviously he bought Twitter, turned it into X, and made it into this echo chamber that now is extremely useful to the right broadly and Trump specifically. But the fact that he just puts out this propaganda and these false claims that align so completely with Donald Trump, and that he signs up.
Could you give us some details, examples of these false claims and all of these stuff that align so perfectly with Donald Trump? Oh, no, they never do. They get up there and they say Trump lies all the time, but they won't get into the details. And when they do, they'll just throw something out there and keep it moving. Or they'll throw out the things that they say Trump lied about, but they'll do it during a panel of all CNN propaganders. So they're all going, yup, he sure did. So now this guy just throws it out there. He lies all the time, and what else?
Onto this picture of Trump as this strong leader who's going to save America, which is exactly how Trump likes to present himself.
What's it likely like how Trump likes to present himself? Or is it that he is a strong leader, and the people recognize that? Versus Chameleon Raggedy Harris that can't talk off the teleprompter, lazy as all get up. Dumb as all get up. Yeah, that woman. Yeah, but yet he's saying that Trump likes to present himself. Could it be that Trump got rid of ISIS and made sure Iran was in check and got Kim Jong-un in check and held China accountable and made Mexico make these people remain in Mexico? Could it be that? Could it be that? Could it be the fact that, Trump responds to tragedies that happen and go down there and physically jump in and get involved? That's my question. Whereas Kamala shows up 5 days later, creepy may show up or may not. Who knows? Could it be those things? Could it be the fact that when we see Trump, we see a strong leader? It can't be that. It's just Trump presenting himself as that. He's just saying it. And somehow we just say, well, he said it, so that he must be a strong leader. Or could it be we're seeing that he's a strong leader? So let's continue exposing this hitman.
I think indicates that, Musk is bought into it. And, that Brian, of course, is absolutely right, that there's benefits to Musk from having Donald Trump be president, and including that Trump has said he'll give Musk some job in the government.
That's not a benefit to Musk. He said he'd do it without even getting paid. You know what that is? It's a benefit to us, not Musk. It's a benefit to the United States by streamlining and getting rid of all the fat. So this guy saw it's a benefit to Musk. What is Musk going to get out of that? You big, fat, nasty, stinking. See, I got to counter their hitman. See, that they put a sniper up there. Now I got to go ahead and take out their sniper by exposing this fool. Let's continue.
That is some advisory role. But even beyond that, it's clear that his politics align.
Right. It seems like for Elon Musk, for somebody who is running so many companies, and I imagine under tremendous amounts of pressure, he seems to have a lot of time to just be putting out false information and sort of retweeting stuff or posting stuff that's just not true.
First of all, what's it to you? That's my question. What's it to you, Pooper? Let me know when you can become the richest man in the world and still can be going ahead and tweeting and running multiple companies. Yeah, could it be that he's a genius? I mean, Trump did the same thing, tweeting all the time, but yet sleeping 3 hours a night, getting up, watching the news, responding to that, going out, doing this, doing 3 rallies a day, stuff like that. So an idiot, a bubblehead, he can't imagine it. Maybe Elon Musk should be focused on running his business and stop exposing the left and stop supporting Trump and stop tweeting because his tweets actually carry weight because so many people follow him. Maybe he should just go ahead and be quiet and run the company instead of hurting the left's narratives. That's what Anderson Cooper is really saying. So now he wants to get in Elon's business, talk about he need to be, more focused on your art, like Dragonfly Jones on Martin. Shouldn't be out there, doing that anyway. Should be studying your art. Well, let's see what these folks say about this.
He does have a lot of time. I was just on Twitter
How do
and
you know
X
that?
looking at his feed, and sometimes he's tweeting more than 75 times a day. I mean, I don't understand how you get anything done. I mean, we're all journalists. We think we spend a lot.
And that's right. You're a journalist and not the richest man in the world. Mr. Asian Man and other hitman. That's right. And Mr. Pooper in the middle. So let me know when you're able to own all of those businesses and become the richest man in the world. And frankly, he probably got people running most of the companies anyway, to where if he wants to, he can just sit there all day with his feet up and tweet. He's still making money, still the richest man in the world. And y'all looked at that. He's out there. I don't know how he do it. Every day that he's destroying us all day long with tweets. And he's great with those memes. Man, we hate it. So now he's a danger. He's a danger, not to society. And notice how Pooper framed that statement. I mean, it is funny. He has all this time to sit around and tweet out dis and misinformation and tweet out lies and spread all that. Notice everything he said. He's wanting the audience to believe that every time Elon Musk either retweets something, tweets something, it's all lies. Every single time. Every single time. He can go ahead and tweet out, "Hello, everybody. Hope you had a great day." That's a lie. So now this guy just straight go ahead and throw that out there. And he knows most of his audience won't go and actually read or look at the tweets that Elon sends out there. So they'll just believe it.
A lot of time on that platform. We have spent a lot of time on that platform. But to do that much on there and run 2 other companies or, multiple other companies is a lot. And now we're talking about him potentially joining the Trump administration. He's talked about this government efficiency commission where he's going to have oversight over spending and jobs. I don't understand how he does it.
Yeah, and you'll never understand how he does it because you're a dummy. But you think the hit just stopped there? See, when you start seeing them all congregate, all of them saying, you know what? We're all on one accord. Go after Elon. He's number one threat because he is controlling the platform that allows folks to exercise their freedom of speech. And we are always talking about we need to do something about this freedom of speech, but we don't say it's freedom of speech. We say we need to do something about dis and misinformation, which allows us to go after the folks like Elon, his platform, and any person on there that's spreading the truth or revealing their narratives. So they ain't done with the hit piece. They're like, yo, let's pass the buck to Dana Trash and see if she can go ahead and take a shot at the Musk and bring it on Dr. Evil right here. Let's see what Dr. Evil has to say.
If Trump doesn't win, this will be the last election. Musk, as you know, has a huge social media platform
And that's
a lot
why,
of influence.
That's why he's a target. That's why he's public enemy number one right after Trump, because he has a huge public platform. That's why. And he ain't allowing y'all to use it for your own will. That's why. Notice they weren't talking about that when Bezos owned it. They weren't saying that he has a huge public platform and he's going after and censoring stuff like the Hunter Biden laptop. That's not right. Notice they weren't saying that. But now all of a sudden, her and Dr. Evil is going to go ahead and go after him.
There, he receives billions of dollars from the federal government in contracts. Does it worry you to hear what he said and see what he's doing?
Look at these questions. Why would this worry you? I mean, all the man is doing is supporting a candidate. But it just happened to be a candidate that's going against the Democrat Party. Does it worry you? I mean, all of the framing, all of the stuff that she dropped out there prior to Dr. Evil saying one word, she laid the groundwork, put the people in a negative mind frame. We all know this is a hit piece coming based on how she even started the interview. Does it worry you? Really, it worries the whole Democrat Party. Therefore, my job is to come out and pretend that I'm just asking curious questions. For some reason, I woke up this morning and say, you know what? I think we should go ahead and ask questions about Elon's relationship with Donald Trump and how dangerous it could be.
It's also hypocritical. He's standing next to the guy that tried to overturn the 2020 election.
Now look at that. You're talking about dangerous? Yes, Scott. Was it an evil petting zoo? Yes. I shall call him Mini-Me. So now you see Dr. Evil start off as also hypocritical with those lopsided ears. Those ears, what is up with that? I'm looking at him. So now he's talking about it's also hypocritical because he's standing right next to the man that now he's spreading disinformation. The man that tried to steal the 2020 election. Trump didn't try to steal nothing. What is this fool? They've been using this narrative the whole time. And here he's talking about how dangerous Elon is, standing next to the man who tried to steal
the 2020 election.
Lie.
On January 6th.
Lie.
You know, saying that this is somehow going to be the last election and they're going to take away your vote. And
yes, that's true. Meaning this, you think they're going to allow us to ever have a potential free and fair election if they can get past this one? I mean, look at all the shenanigans that happened in 2020, 2016, and then leading up to this one. If these folks were willing to just go straight out in the open and say, man, we ain't got time to disguise and cover up lawfare. We ain't got time to go ahead and honor our traditions about impeachment or taking Trump off the ballot. We ain't got time for all of that mess, man. Yeah, we got to stop this man at any cost. Now, if they're willing to do all of this, do you think if they get past this Trump hump, they're going after Elon? They're going to make sure that all the legislation shuts down any challenges when it comes down to these illegal immigrants. In fact, they'll keep that border wide open and bring even more in, watering down all of our votes. We know what Elon means when he talks about this will be the last election. Yeah, they want to rig this one. It just might be too big to rig. So if they can go ahead and somehow rig this one, you don't think they'll rig the ones moving forward? Trump's out the way. So he's right. We'll be able to go and pretend to vote, but who knows where it's going? Who knows what's happening then? So yes, he's right. But here this fool is talking about that. He's saying it's going to be the last. We all know what he means.
You know, it just doesn't pass the logic.
Oh, it passed the logic
Look,
test.
Elon Musk has an unbelievably huge platform, especially.
Yeah. Do you see this guy? You see the pseudo black man coming out right here? Elon Musk has a large platform. Notice they all say this. He has a large platform. Basically, what they're revealing is he has influence, and we don't like it. That's why he's dangerous. So now him and look, little Brian Stelter, who done lost weight, y'all. Yeah, man. I wonder if he on that stuff. Yeah, you think he on that stuff? See, that's how black people say it, and somehow we all know what that stuff means. Hey, you're looking kind of skinny. You ain't on that stuff, are you? No, I'm good, man. Why are you scratching this stuff, man? You ain't on that stuff. So Brian Stelter might be on that stuff, but one thing he ain't on is getting rid of that open stadium. That's the first thing I need to talk about. That dude's still rocking that open stadium. You're too young to rock the open stadium, man. You're already over halfway there. Go ahead and shave it off. But let's continue, because now here is these folks with a hit piece on the Musk.
Especially online. How do you explain his transformation from someone who voted for Democrats and Obama in the past to what we see now, dark MAGA, and especially in terms of the context of the platform that he presides over?
There you go. That's the big problem. If he would go ahead and let them have their way on that platform, they wouldn't even be talking about Musk. See, that's the real issue. The platform he presides over. he won't let them get their hands on it because they want to get their hands on freedom of speech. So now, all of a sudden, he's talking about that. How do you think this affects out there? And you know what then? Well, the fact is, y'all, with your crazy policies and your obvious attempt to become tyrannical, drove him towards Donald Trump. He starts seeing the obvious, which we all see, based on even this hit piece. You don't think we see through what y'all doing right here? So now, y'all, they're bringing out the number one squeaky propaganda. Little Brian Stelter. He's back.
The phrase dark MAGA is interesting, and people might not be familiar with it. This is a meme, an online idea that has taken root over a number of years. Think about the Batman movie, The Dark Knight, the dystopian view of Gotham. When you hear the idea of dark MAGA, it's referring to this idea of an unleashed, unhinged version of Trump, a second Trump administration with no limits on its power.
Well, wait a minute. What about Dark Brandon? You didn't come up with the same analysis? You didn't go ahead and psychoanalyze Dark Brandon? He didn't get the negative, commentary about him. So now, little Brian Stelter, I guess, is a dark magologist. That he went and studied at the School of Magology. And I was like, all right, see, it dates back to the ancient Aztecs that were really channeling the darkest evilness of the... How does he know what this means? He's just straight pulling this out of his butt. He's creating this whole narrative of what it is. So let's finish hearing him make up stuff.
The idea of Trump saying, I'm your retribution, a more authoritarian version of Trumpism, that's the idea that drives dark MAGA.
Look at this fool. But yet they talk about we're spreading dis and misinformation. These hit pieces are the reason why they need censorship. Because as we listen to that, we're going, what a fool. Now, if we didn't have the ability to counter this mess, this would fly. Nobody would say, what the heck are you talking about? What do you mean the darkest sides and the authoritarian and all of this stuff? So let's see all the propaganda he packed into that quick sentence right there. That was a lot of proper. He stuffed proper all down in that mug. He like, how much more proper can I get in this bag of lies?
That's the idea that drives dark MAGA.
What is it again?
Dark MAGA. The phrase dark MAGA is interesting, and people might not be familiar with it.
And neither are you.
This is a meme, an online idea that has taken root over a number of years. Think about the Batman movie, The Dark Knight, the dystopian view of Gotham. When you hear the idea of dark MAGA, it's referring to this idea of an unleashed, unhinged version of Trump, a second Trump administration with no limits on its power. The idea of Trump saying,
no limits on his power, making it up, just straight up. He's telling us who we've, of course, adopted all kind of, ultra MAGA, all of this stuff, mega MAGA. I always talk about that. All of this stuff we adopt. And yet somehow he knows what dark MAGA means. But yet I don't. I mean, Elon coming out with the hat is the first time I really even heard of this. I'm like, dark MAGA, oh, cool. But yeah, here he is breaking it down and saying it represents evil, control, and totalitarianism, and all this stuff that he's making up.
I'm your retribution, a more authoritarian version of Trumpism. That's the idea that drives dark MAGA.
A guy who is not a MAGA supporter is telling us. Now, isn't that funny? So now, once again, it appears we've discovered the real people who's spreading this and misinformation. So now he's telling us what dark MAGA mean. Yeah, he's just filling in all kind of blanks.
Even though some of the memes, some of the jokes might be sarcastic or edgy, there's a very real idea behind the idea of dark MAGA. So when you hear someone like Elon Musk say he's entirely on board, even with the more authoritarian impulses of Trump, that
folks spreading the truth and revealing these folks are fake and propagandists. They don't want that. They need to keep the bubbleheads asleep. That's what they need. And too much of Musk and his platform of freedom of speech, too much of folks forsaking the Democrats and getting online and telling other people, man, you know they lied to you about this. You know they did this. Did you see the real statement? That right there is hurting these people. So now they got to come out here and go after Musk and say that Trump's got these evil tendencies, and Musk likes it. Musk likes it. He's bought into it. All of these are rumors that they're spreading about Trump, and yet they're talking about dis and misinformation.
That says something. That says that he's been radicalized over the years.
Wow. Yep, they just said that. Nobody is saying, you know what, we need to look into these news networks who get up there and just make up stuff and just decide, we're going to tell people that Elon Musk has been radicalized over the years. We're just going to say that and say it like it's fact.
In his politics. Musk is also using his platform X to drive support to Trump. I noticed when I logged in yesterday during the Trump rally was always at the top of my feed. It almost felt as if he was forcing it up algorithmically to make sure everybody was watching the rally. So
you mean like Google? You mean like Google and stuff? You mean like how YouTube makes sure that my videos don't get sent out and stuff like that? And when I upload a video, the notifications, sometimes they go out, sometimes they don't. You mean like that? How Google and YouTube and other platforms make sure that you guys who are spreading dis and misinformation, pops up at the top. And I remember I went on Google and said, how many lies has the news told about Donald Trump? Enter. Google said, man, whatever, dude. I'm about to give you about 8 pages of all the lies that Trump has told. And I'm going, didn't you hear what I just asked you, Google? I said, how many? Had to go through like multiple pages before I even got to one. And yet this dude's talking about that, he made me have to watch the rally and stuff like that. Nobody's forcing anybody to click on the rally.
We're going to see that kind of support from Musk, him trying to tip the scales in Trump's favor. And I just think we should take a moment to talk about what he said at the end there, that this will be the last election if Trump does not win.
So what does that mean? I guess he's going to and kind of infer that, what? If Trump doesn't win, there's going to be, of course, a civil war and we're going to fall into darkness. And then that Trump's going to rise up out of the ashes and say, I declare myself as king. That's dangerous. That's dangerous talk right there. Yet we hear Trump's going to end America. He's the most dangerous thing, not only just to America, but to the whole planet. Coming out of folks on their networks.
That kind of rhetoric, right? And we do hear some of that from the left as well. That kind of rhetoric.
And we're about to see some of that.
It's going to make it very hard for all of us to be Americans, to be neighbors next year, right? We're going to have elections in the future. We're going to have elections after this year. We all have to find a way to live together in 2025 and beyond. But the rhetoric from someone like Musk saying this will be the last election, it's going to have dangerous consequences, I fear.
And how do we get to the fact or the point where Musk even says that, or even some people believe it? It's because of the dangerous rhetoric we've been hearing from the left that has radicalized a lot of people in our country to where they look at Trump supporters as less than, as evil. They look at Trump as an existential threat to the country. And now all of a sudden you see your neighbor with a MAGA hat on and he's a Nazi. You see your neighbor with a MAGA flag or something like that. He's a white nationalist. Been knowing him for 30 years. All of a sudden you supporting Trump, you're a white nationalist. So it's very hard to live with radicalized leftists. I see dang on Kamala signs all the time. I do not go up in those yards, picking those signs up, kicking them, stepping on them, burning them. Nothing. I see stickers on cars for Kamala. I don't sit back and go over there and key the car like the folks on their side do. I don't do that. In fact, I don't even blame Democrat voters. I blame these folks and the Democrat Party because the voters are simply victims of this type of propaganda and manipulation. Okay? And that's what they want to keep in control. Because when these folks find out I've been manipulated and they've been using propaganda, they lose control. Thus, that hit piece by Little Brian Stelter.
And I will say that Elon Musk is perhaps the world's leading spreader of disinformation, including outright lies.
Holy moly. Now y'all see where it's going? This is all hit pieces because Elon showed up on that stage with Trump. They're like, crap, he got a great ally. Man, he could have been a hero for the Democrats because he was a Democrat. If these folks wouldn't have went over the deep end, if these folks wouldn't have become so obsessed with stopping Trump to where it became obvious, if these folks didn't start doing things like opening up our border, okay, if they want to start doing things like allowing kids or pushing for legislation for little kids to go through stuff that they shouldn't be going through and putting stuff in education that they shouldn't be reading about, if they wouldn't have started going so crazy, they would still have an ally in Elon Musk. Kelsey Galbraith, and all of that. They drove these people to the right. They don't realize they're the problem. They're the source of the problem. But now he's saying this Elon Musk out there, he's the biggest spreader of dis and misinformation. Basically, he's the biggest threat because of that platform to our power and control and our ability to censor.
About hurricane relief, about illegal immigrants. We've seen him do that in the last couple of weeks. And then on Saturday, he steps on stage with Donald Trump, with one of the less athletic leaps I've ever seen.
Don't be hating. I want to see your vertical. Might as well jump, my head jump. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Jump. So they hate on Elon Musk.
As he bounded his way on stage with Trump, tell us, and then spoke briefly on the former president's behalf. Tell us about that moment and what sort of he does not have much of a vertical, Mr. Musk.
Yep, just straight hating on him. So now, the new narrative, guys. After we done seen all these hit pieces, during that same rally, Trump came out and he said that all of the rhetoric and stuff now that's just the light stuff. Those are the hit pieces on Musk and stuff like that, and the little, jabs at Trump. Now, I just warmed y'all up for the heavy stuff. So Trump comes out and says, yeah, these folks been spreading so many lies about me, calling me everything under the sun. Here I am back at the location where I almost lost my life. And most likely it's because of all of the stuff we've been hearing for the last 8 years about Trump being dangerous, he's a dictator, all of that stuff. And when they heard Trump say that along with several other people, they flipped out. They said, whoa, these folks over here at Trump's rally just came out and spreaded another lie and said the Democrats tried to have him killed. There it is. So let's go ahead and see how they're reacting to that, because they're saying Trump and his friends and family is spreading more dis and misinformation.
Saturday returned to the site of the first assassination attempt against him. Now, during that rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, he and his allies accused Democrats of trying to kill him.
What? So wait a minute. Y'all see Beaker, and Mika, the Muppets right there, the Democrats of trying to kill him. So let's go ahead and see, because they're saying that's hyperbole or it's just a straight lie. See, when Democrats say things like Trump is going to exterminate the people, he's going to have a bloodbath, that right there is not inciting or, that's not lying on Trump, right? That's just saying what Trump really said or means, right? That's all it is. So let's go ahead and see, because they're upset what these people had to say at the rally.
Over the past 8 years, those who want to stop us from achieving this future have slandered me, impeached me, indicted me, tried to throw me off the ballot.
True.
And who knows, maybe even tried to kill me.
Notice they cut that real quick. They didn't want to go ahead and see. Notice he said, who knows? Because see, deep down in the back of almost everybody's head, honestly, is that not a possibility? Look at all the things that Trump just said leading up to that incident that took place. They tried to impeach me. They tried to go ahead and throw me in jail. They tried to take my money. They all this stuff. Bent every rule to go after me with lawfare. All of that stuff. And who knows? Considering there's so many unrevealed details. Don't they have that crazy guy down in Florida? Have we heard any information? That we know that guy, when he was posted up in those bushes, found out that he was saying Trump's a danger to democracy. Who always is saying that? Who always is saying that? It's the Democrats. So even if they didn't directly try to do anything to him, you best believe their words, their rhetoric has encouraged both of those guys to do that. But me personally, I think there was other things at work as well. And maybe these other people think a little bit of that too.
I always say there's an enemy from within and there's an outside enemy. And if you're smart, the outside enemy is not going to be a problem. Russia, China, and North Korea, we're not going to have a problem if you have a smart president. If you have not such a smart president, then it's a problem. Yeah. But we have an enemy from within, which I think is much more dangerous than the outside enemy.
So true, Trump. So true. Rome fell from within. There you have it. See, notice Russia had nothing to do with the Russia collusion that they lied about for 2.5 years and still have not come out and confessed that they pushed that hoax that Hillary Clinton put together. She was way worse than Putin. The evil one crafted all of that mess and drug us through 2.5 years of a full lie while these same folks that's talking about dis and misinformation assisted spreading that dis and misinformation. And now they're saying now Trump is up here lying about the Democrats trying to kill him. But yet the Democrats tried to say this man was a traitor to his country. He was a Russian agent. Treason could result in death. But yet they just brush right over that. They don't even ask Crooked when she come on the shows. Hey, you know what? You said Putin was dangerous because of Russian disinformation, but wasn't it you? They don't even ask her about that. But Trump says this, and oh my God, he's spreading dangerous rhetoric.
First, they tried to silence him.
True.
When that didn't work, they tried to bankrupt him.
True.
When that didn't work, they tried to jail him.
True.
And with all the hatred they have spewed at President Trump, it was only a matter of time before somebody tried to kill him.
No, wait a minute, J.D. Vance. That's just dis and misinformation. Ain't nobody spread no hatred about Trump. These folks out there that's been doing crazy stuff for the last 8 to 10 years and tearing up stuff, rioting, burning down stuff, flipping out when Trump won, all of that stuff. No, that stuff ain't been encouraged by the fake news and the Democrats. Y'all out there spreading dis and misinformation. We all need to tone down the rhetoric. It's all equal. It's all equal. See, we all need to tone down the rhetoric.
And then, guys, they tried to kill him. They tried to kill him. And it's because the Democratic Party, they can't do anything right.
That's true.
They can't do anything right. You see it this week in the FEMA response in North Carolina, and in Georgia, and in South Carolina, and in Florida.
Now, think about this. If the Democrat Party still had the juice, why would they have to go through all this to stop Trump? If Trump wasn't so dangerous to them, why don't they just go ahead and meet him in the ring and beat him heads up? But nope. 2 impeachments, 4 indictments, lawfare all over the place. Now, you ain't got to physically try to kill somebody because we just saw them try to kill Elon Musk's character through those hit pieces. And they've been doing that to Trump for the last 8 years, assassinating his character to the point where folks that are dumb have bought into Trump's dangerous. He needs to be stopped. But hey, maybe I'm just making it up. Unless I got receipts to prove it. So let's go ahead and see the last person who's spreading dis and misinformation that the Democrats and Mika and Beaker is going to say, this is dangerous.
This is a pivotal moment for our country. And I don't even have to tell anybody that here. We can all feel it. This is no longer a fight between Republican versus Democrat, left versus right. What? It is good versus evil.
That's true.
And good is going to win this battle, ladies and gentlemen.
Uh-oh. Now, y'all ready for these 2 actors? All right, y'all ready? let Beaker get all emotional and busted up over this case. This is a serious situation. Here we go.
The level of un-American activity that you just saw is stunning. That is un-American.
It's un-American.
They know they're lying.
They know they're lying.
Donald Trump knows that's a lie. He will tell you that the Secret Service, he thought, did the best job they could do.
Well, that ain't got nothing to do with, some of them jumped on top of him, but there was a lot of them that didn't do anything. Yeah, you go ahead, highlight, talk about the good, but that doesn't mean you exclude the bad. Why wasn't nobody on top of that building? How did that dude get that close? Who put together that plan and layout? These are all questions that we all have. But now this guy wants to just say, just because Donald Trump complimented him, that means he's lying now when he say they tried to kill him.
The fact that J.D. Vance and Trump's family would out and out say what they said takes the threat of violence, takes the threat beyond where it was even leading up to January the 6th.
So wait a minute. As Beaker trying to pretend he's all busted up and serious about this, and Mika just sits there like, Isn't that odd that he's saying it's taken the threat of violence from who? The threat of violence has been there since Trump even rode up on the scene from the left. What threat of violence are you talking about, man? You would think if there was ever a time where violence would have escalated on our side, probably would have been perhaps when they tried to lock us in our house and made us get vaccines, but we didn't do it then. Probably when they impeached Trump the first time, or maybe the second time, or perhaps maybe during all of those 4 indictments. Yeah, we didn't come off the bench. We didn't go out there and start rioting. Or could it have been when they actually shot him in the head? I mean, all of these things happen. But he's talking about that threat of violence. From who? We've been cool this whole time. Upset, yeah. Opinionated, yeah. But threat of violence? But he's just saying it. That threat of violence, because see, once again, to silence you, they have to pretend you're dangerous. The things that you say, even though they're true, they're dangerous to us.
This is an increasingly desperate person, an increasingly desperate family who's preparing for...
You'll see. They're prepared. What are they preparing for? Now, as this guy just got done talking about the threat of violence, listen to what this actor says. Watch what he's talking about. The language is so dangerous. Watch what he now accuses Trump of doing.
Like, who's preparing for civil war? You just are. Talking about they're trying to kill him. Democrats are trying to kill him.
So, what he's upset about is the fact that they were all saying that the left, including the fake news and the Democrats, have been using so much hyperbole and so many accusations and demonization of Trump. It led to violent attempts on his life, and they're a part of it. They're part of it. So now he's pretending as if Trump saying this and saying that all of this violence and stuff is a result of the stuff that the news and the Democrats be saying. This guy acts like he's upset about that because it's a lie. And what does he do? Come right out here and say he's preparing for civil war. Now that's not hyperbole. Did Trump say that? You're just saying this. What do you think people on the left that got bubble heads are going to think? So let's finish here. This guy prove our point.
This is it, and the lies.
The lies.
Think about this. I saw part of Donald Trump's speech this weekend. It was remarkable. The lies, not just on things this year, but
as the man sits here and lies. Now, isn't that odd? I mean, this is the same guy that told us that Joe Biden, this version of Joe Biden, is the best. I don't care. You know what? If you can't handle the truth, then F you. And about 3 weeks later, this Joe Biden, I don't know what's going on with y'all out there. We need another candidate. This is the same guy. These actors. This is the same network that the guy just got busted with an undercover camera saying that they belittle the intelligence of their audience. They're propagandists. They work for the Democrat Party. Yeah, same network.
But even on policy, it just make up things and just throw it out there. And I'd be shocked if the audience was really that stupid.
See? And that's a tactic. Try to belittle the people who support him so he don't gather new people that will support him. Nobody wants to be a part of the stupid people. So just in case your guys are saying, well, I don't know, Trump, I might investigate because he does make some good points. But I heard Joe and Mika say you got to be stupid to believe him. So I don't want to be stupid.
To believe the crazy lies that he was throwing out there. But he does it so much. It is the falsehood, the firehood of falsehoods. But they continue lying about 2020. Vance continues lying about 2020. Trump continues.
Just going back, always go back 2020, always go back to J6 because we ain't got nothing else. And once again, they're just saying they're lying about it because they want everybody to think they're lying about it. They actually believe there were some discrepancies along with me. I've seen the evidence. I've seen the discrepancies. Just because the folks in authority or they got a platform like this comes out and say, it's been debunked, everybody that. You're not going to make me deny the reality that I saw. You're not going to do that just because you're saying, and Trump and J.D. Vance are standing their ground on that, along with millions of other folks.
He's lying about 2020. Senators will not say on Sunday news shows that Donald Trump lost in 2020, despite the fact Republican officials in every one of those states that mattered said that, yes, in fact, Donald Trump lost.
So now I want to know, Beaker and Mika, the next time that they drag any Democrat onto their raggedy platform, are they going to start off by saying, the last 20 years, you guys have not accepted any Republican election. Are you willing right now to say that Donald Trump legitimately won in 2016? You think they're going to ask them that? Absolutely not.
Brian Kemp said it in Georgia. Republican officials said it in Michigan. Republican officials said it in Pennsylvania. They said it in Arizona. They have said it repeatedly. Trump and Vance lying about.
Now, y'all hear that? So he went out there and he's basically saying that Trump and all of them lying. And they putting folks in, it's dangerous. It's dangerous rhetoric to say that the Democrats put his life in danger based on their rhetoric. It's dangerous. So we got to go ahead and see, is there some validity to that, because we would hate to think that Trump is out there just making stuff up and there's no real references or validity to it. And we'll close with this. As we just watched that propaganda piece and he was upset that Trump has been lying and stuff and putting people in danger by saying the Democrats tried to kill him. Well, let's check this out. What's these?
It is calculated, right? I mean, Donald Trump isn't just a doddering fool who happens to be racist. He's a calculated person who is not trying to grow his vote share. He's trying to speak into the id of a particular kind of voter.
Wait a minute. Y'all see Big Face Applehead? Y'all see her with that blue blush on? Dang on it. So now, here she is on MSNBC. Listen to this. Imagine you being just a bleeding heart liberal, all filled with air inside of your head, bubbles popping, and you're listening to this racist woman on TV saying this about Trump.
When he says we have to call out Detroit, Philly, and Atlanta. We have to go into Philly, Detroit, Atlanta. He lost Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Michigan in 2020, which is how he lost the election. It's why he's under indictment for attempting to steal those races.
Another lie, attempting to steal the races. Look at the language that they're using. Okay. Delegitimizing Trump because they're saying he's a thief. He tried to steal it, even though he just went ahead and got on that plane and left, all on a helicopter and left. All of the things that they say he tried to do, I'm going, where's the evidence? But nonetheless, let's listen to this because it gets worse if you can believe it. Now, she's the toilet bowl. She is the worst one on MSNBC. She has no bounds.
What he's telling his voters, his small, his share of extreme MAGA voters.
That's it. Just a small a small share of extreme MAGA voters. Yeah, it's not a real movement. It's not a thing, even though millions of folks support Trump, even though a whole stadium was just cheering for him. It's not a thing. Yeah, it's just a small, just in case anybody's wondering, maybe I should jump on the Trump train. Nah, there's nothing going on over there. No action. Now, guys, you know how bad she is, but I'm gonna warn y'all. I think I found someone who is either equal to her or worse, and I'm saving her for last. So let's go ahead and see.
These blacks are stealing the election. Black Haitians are violent cannibals.
You see what I mean? You don't think they're getting on TV and saying stuff like that? Trump is saying these blacks are stealing the election. These black Haitians are cannibals. They're not illegal immigrants. He's not talking about them and the impact they're having on that community because they're illegal immigrants. He's not referencing all of the examples of people and testimonies of people saying, well, yeah, they have eaten some animals. I've seen some Haitians on the internet telling everybody in Haiti, they sacrifice animals. They need a sacrifice to practice voodoo. And Haitians are saying when them animals go missing, they might not be eating them, but they're using them for something. But yet here she is trying to say, Trump's just getting up there saying, you know what, black folks are stealing our votes. And these black Haitians ain't got nothing to do with them being illegal immigrants. Just any black Haitian. They're all stealing our votes and they're down there eating the animals.
Black people are the enemy. Black people are going to be responsible if and when I lose, and you are permitted through my language to do violence to them if necessary to stop another peaceful transfer of power.
Oh my God. But yet you just saw Joe up there, this language. And it's just so thick. You talk about some dis and misinformation. You want to get these people the right to decide what is true and false? These are the referees that John Kerry was talking about the referees. They're no longer. This woman just said that. Can you believe it? On TV. And Jen said wants to give all of his MAGA folks the right to go out and just straight go buck wild on black folks. She said that. Now, you don't think that's encouraging folks to start saying, we need to stop this dude? He's a full-blown racist, but it gets worse, guys.
Because he understands that he is not winning the election.
When she's delivering these messages now, I think she keeps getting better.
Kamala Harris is telling the truth. The hate campaign against Kamala Harris has begun. They purposefully pronounce her name wrong.
But as a black woman, the product of a mixed marriage, she's an inspiration.
You see all the cheerleaders for her? Isn't that odd? Same people who are cheering her on just got done talking about Trump's about to unleash white people to kill black people if he loses.
No, Nicole, vote for her or don't vote for her. But isn't it great to just have a positive conversation right now?
Congresswoman, I want to start with you because you and the other members of the January 6th Select Committee have been publicly targeted or threatened or warned that Trump is coming for you.
Trump is coming. You're talking about a former president. And you're talking about a guy who is the leading candidate, and you're saying Trump is. You're describing him as if he's the boogeyman. He's a full-blown hitman coming to kill. This is crazy. This is supposed to be a TV show. It's really a comedy show, but these folks are just straight bringing people on. Trump is coming for you. Saying it with a straight face, acting like it's a serious segment, and then saying that Trump's coming for him. Now, impressionable minds watching this guy's dangerous. So now Trump's coming for this person.
I wonder, as the polls appear pretty close, if you've done anything to prepare for that, if you've retained counsel or updated your passport, or if you're doing anything differently.
You hear that? No. So she's saying this as if it's true. Nicole Wallace just straight threw that out there and said, I wonder if you're preparing for it. Not, are you believing it? Are you really? She's just straight saying, I wonder if you're preparing for it. Did you prepare your passport? And I'm going to go ahead and bypass this lady, okay, for the sake of time, because we all know that's a hit piece. But then look at this. Look, same network brings this guy on. You don't think this right here might encourage folks to say, we got to stop this evil man?
actually accomplish it is something else again.
What he says he intends to do. And when he turns around and says, Jen, to, like the head of this network or other people who are critics, that he intends to use SEAL Team 6 or the military within which to round up his critics or his opponents, he intends to do it. And I say that with firsthand experience.
What do you think happened?
What firsthand experience? Do you see Raggedy Patty sitting there with the side eye like, As that man just said, Trump's going to use SEAL Team 6. Now, maybe folks that are guilty or participated in conspiracies against Trump might be a little concerned. But if Trump did unveil some type of conspiracy, it would be warranted. So when you step on a dog's tail, they holler. This guy right here was a part of the attempt to stop Trump, and now he's concerned. Even though Trump ain't said, I'm coming after Michael Cohen, and he's talking about he's going to use SEAL Team 6, and he's going to go ahead and use the military to rock, just straight lies. And they sat there on that network listening to it, letting him spread dis and misinformation, and they want to censor us.
What happens to you if he wins?
Well, I'm out of here. I mean, I'm already working on a foreign passport with a completely different name. I don't know how it's going to work as far as dealing with my wife and my children. I certainly don't want them moving to where I'm looking to go.
But you're so afraid of Trump, you're willing to just leave him behind, right? This guy's something else, man. But the funny part, they bring this bad, horrible, stinking, funky actor / raggedy dang on former lawyer, and he's a liar. And they bring him on here as a credible source.
But I don't think yourself, the president of MSNBC, General Milley, Liz Cheney, how many people has he turned around and said that these are people that I intend to go after if I have the ability to? And the worst is the Supreme Court's recent decision that gave him immunity.
Just straight bashing the Supreme Court. Notice Nicole Wallace ain't said that. Actually, that's not true. That he don't have absolute immunity. If he violates the Constitution or breaks the laws, he'll be held accountable. Actually, why is she doing that? What is she doing? Completely quiet, letting this liar get up there and spread dis and misinformation, not only on Trump, but also on the Supreme Court.
Immunity. Now he thinks it's not only is it I can do whatever I want, but I can't even be prosecuted. To get out of jail free card solely for the president.
So you're out of here. You leave the country.
Look, that's her conclusion. She didn't challenge any of that. At the end of that, so that you're out of here, you're leaving the country. That's it. That's all you took away. Not one curious rebuttal. Nothing. But they want to censor us, y'all.
Have no choice.
Donald Trump during an interview with
Here she is, y'all. Now, y'all ready for this? This right here is magnanimous. I know Joy Reid is the toilet bowl, but we got a contender. So yet we heard John Mika. They're talking about this is crazy that Donald Trump said that all of this, the Democrats are trying. Listen to what they allowed this woman to say on CNN.
Hewitt this morning and talking about immigration and brings up genes. And by that, I mean...
Now, you see this propaganda in the middle? And brings up genes. He's talking about immigration. Now, you already know where he's going. Whenever Trump brings up immigration and starts talking about these illegal immigrants, it's never the impact that the immigrants have on the American people. It's Trump's language and the impact that it has on the legal immigrants and putting them in danger. And of course, it's all being motivated by what? Racism. So y'all ready? This guy's about to unleash this douchebag right here on my left, okay, to say the most craziest thing ever.
Genetics. And the genes of immigrants coming to this country. I want to listen to this. We're going to listen to it for the first time all together.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
How about allowing people to come to an open border, 13,000 of which were murderers, many of them murdered far more than one person, and they're now happily living in the United States. You know, now a murderer, I believe this, it's in their genes, and we got a lot of bad genes.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I learned a little bit about phonics, context, things like that. Subject matter. How about all the illegal immigrants that are allowed to come into the country? And many of them are murderers. And murderers often can't get over it. They have it in their genes. Okay? Notice, oftentimes, when people fall into a life of crime, it's hard to get out of it. You know, they repeat offenders and things like that. So now Trump is talking about what? Two things. Number one, illegal immigrants. Number two, murderers. Murderers. But look what this guy tries to suggest and allows this lady to say.
Genes in our country right now.
We have a lot of bad genes in our country right now, talking about the immigrants who come.
Now, I can tell just by the ways that we have a lot of bad genes. This guy is trying to pretend he don't understand the context. That's what he's doing right now. He is a part of a propaganda network. He is spreading dis and misinformation because he knows the context in what Trump was saying. But watch what he does. He's pretending he doesn't.
I'm over. He was calling them murderers.
Calling them murderers. Look, acting. See him acting? Calling them murderers. Calling who murderers? Calling illegal immigrants that are murderers, murderers. That's who he's calling a murderer. If it ain't you, it ain't you. But don't act as if all of those numbers we just saw released, talking about all of those murderers that's running around our country, are not murderers. So he's pretending that Trump called all of these immigrants murderers.
That discussion about the genes of immigrants, Aisha, your first reaction?
My first reaction is that we have long known that Donald Trump has revered the Nazis. He has revered Hitler. He's read his book. He used to say he had it on his nightstand. Donald Trump has had a very sinister philosophy, wanting to be a dictator, absolutely dividing people up.
Can you believe this? And yet, Joe and Mika say that, no, man, we ain't trying to get Trump killed. This woman is allowed to be on CNN while this guy pretends that the context is something different than what it is. And she's up here talking about he's long revered the Nazis. He loves Hitler. He's reading his book. He got it on his counter. And guess what else? Trump is... and I'm saying, are you kidding me?
Based on who they are, based on factors about them that have to do with their race and their gender, etc. And when he uses language like this, I don't think that it's a Freudian slip. I think that the danger of a Donald Trump is that he would absolutely try to exterminate an entire group of people because he thinks that their genes are somehow different than his and faulty.
Did I not deliver? Did I not deliver? This woman just said that Trump would full-blown exterminate a whole group of people based on their genes are not compatible with his. Shouldn't he start with the Americans that are not black? Shouldn't he, that aren't white rather? Shouldn't he say, you know what? We got a lot of black, Latinos, and other minorities in America. So let's get rid of them too. He's not saying that? You mean tell me he's talking about the illegal immigrants and how they need to be shipped back? And he's talking about the murderers, but this woman, she just said Trump will exterminate. But yet you can't say that the Democrats try to have him killed. But Trump is about to go ahead and exterminate a whole race. And this guy in the middle sits there like this. And
I say this with all the sternness that you hear in my voice because it is serious and Americans should recognize that.
An American should recognize that. And what does he do? Nothing. He didn't say nothing. Okay. Now, he just let that fly on that network. That woman just said Trump wants to exterminate all black folks, a whole race of people, okay, and wants to be a dictator. And yet they don't think language like that might encourage somebody to go out and try something crazy. And then this guy...
We got to run, but I want to give you one chance to comment on that.
I think that's a little over-torqued, quite frankly. Yeah. But clearly this is an example of an issue where Trump would have the opportunity to have an advantage, which is immigration. But comments like this are certainly not useful in driving that advantage. And so we'll see where this goes. This is going to be a critical issue, John, as we go into the last 28 days. How people feel about immigration and control of the border is going to be a critical issue in this election as well.
And they're losing. So now they got to resort to saying Trump's Hitler. There it is. And he's about to exterminate these people just because they're people of color. But guys, she's trying to go for the title. She's coming after Joyless Reed, baby. She like, Joy ain't got nothing on me, so she's back for round 2. Let's see how she lines up against Joy Reid's lies and propaganda.
Listen, this isn't the first time we've heard this kind of talk from Donald Trump, and it reeks of authoritarianism. And it also harkens back to a time of Hitler, who used the same exact language that Donald Trump is now quoting to talk about the people who he thinks are poisoning the blood of the nation. You know, all of this smells like an affinity towards eugenics, which really should give us all pause. Because when we remember the last person, the last awful authoritarian dictator who believed in eugenics, it was someone who really wanted to exterminate an entire people because they thought that they didn't have good genes and because they were trying to create a certain type of race. Donald Trump has himself said that his parents, his father, raised him to believe that they were superior to others because they had good genes. Now, what does that mean? The way he's talking about it is he wants to purge the immigrants, right? He wants to get rid of all of the immigrants and has said that he would do some pretty nasty, harmful things to them because they don't have good genes. I don't...
Because they don't have good genes? Oh, my God. I mean, it's hard to even... I feel like I'm like going, man, I got to be getting punked. This cannot be a real guest on CNN saying what she is saying. Trump feels he's superior, he's a superior race. These folks have lesser genes and he wants to get rid of them just because of their genes. And listen, do you understand the level of lying and propaganda that they're allowing to take place? And yet they got mad because Trump said that, yeah, they're probably trying to kill me too. Yeah. Anybody who would listen to this and believe it and believe for some reason that CNN is a legitimate network, they might take this seriously. Look at this chick.
I think that this is just rhetoric. I think that we need to take this seriously and understand where his inspiration comes from. And today, of all days, it is just really savage that this is who he's quoting and that he's quoting Hitler.
So, guys, what do you think? Do you think this woman right there is trying to go for the title of Joy Reid? Joy Reid done said some outlandish, crazy stuff. This chick? And yet, we got to rely on this guy to try to come in and say, you sound nuts. Not the commentator, not the anchor. She sat back and let this woman spew this out. And when this guy challenges her, watch what this Marxist does.
Come on, Aaron. I don't want to swear.
David, I mean, is this rhetoric to say you believe in the racehorse theory about bloodline?
Listen. Hey, Aaron, listen, I'm not going to sit here and put up with this. I am a very good guest normally. But to Aisha, for you to compare Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler on 10/7, it's just shameful. Number one, what he was talking about are murderers. Oh. People who came into this country and murdered Americans, okay? Wow. So let's not try to string together a bunch of quotes that weren't put together. There are different points in time to try to make it look like something he didn't say. He was talking about 26,000 people, rapists and murderers in this country. And he said, in my opinion, and it's not just Donald Trump's opinion, there are scientific studies out there about nature or nurture, about murders, whether they have some sort of genetic predisposition to murder people. And he's talking about the people who murdered Americans, not eugenics, not some made up BS, Aisha.
Yeah, you see that? See how a rational person thinks? But this woman is not rational. They didn't bring her on the network to be rational. They brought her on the network to spread the craziest ideas and narratives that they could spread on Trump. And they don't care about the effect it has on people who are impressionable. They don't care the fact that she's making up stuff and spreading dis and misinformation, but yet they want to go ahead and silence us. They want to censor us. And watch what she does when her back's up against the wall and somebody calls her out for this stupidity.
So listen, I'm sorry that Donald Trump feels like standing up for people who may have been murdered by immigrants and want to deport illegal immigrants who are here, criminal, violent aliens, who want to kick them out of our country to protect Americans. But that's okay in my case. He's not talking about
here she comes.
He's not going to compare him with Adolf Hitler today. I find it particularly offensive.
Listen, we can fact check this all day long. David's hot air is not going to rewrite the history of the words that Donald Trump himself has used.
Shut up.
This is fact. He has long talked about genetics. Well, I'm talking about the history of everything he's ever said. So you can
not talking about
which everything you quoted was a lie and out of context. Okay, Aisha.
a short-term memory, David, for the sake of going into an election and like doing Donald Trump's
Here it
bidding.
comes. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for the block, the defense? Oh, shoot, I've been called out. I've been revealed to be a liar. So now I got to use my infinity stones of wokeness.
But this, as an
Aisha,
American,
let's talk about Kamala
makes
Harris.
me really concerned.
Let's talk about Kamala Harris for
as
short-term
a black lesbian who Donald Trump doesn't believe has genes as good as his.
Holy moly. I'm telling you, she's neck and neck with Joy Reid. As a black lesbian, Donald Trump doesn't believe I got good as Jesus. What does that got to do with anything? It doesn't. What it is shut up, David, because right now you're questioning me and revealing me to be a fake propagandist and a liar, but I got to go ahead and block you with, I'm a black lesbian, so shut your mouth. You're not allowed to go ahead and challenge me.
Is he going to attempt to exterminate me
why do you
when he
believe that,
gets
Aisha?
elected?
Oh my God, is he going to attempt to exterminate me when he gets elected?
He's damn near said it. That's why, David. That's why.
Because he's,
okay, and I'm not
has he
going to
said
be
that?
lectured by some white man who has.
There it is. Pulling all of those race cards out. I ain't gonna be lectured by no black white man, okay? As a black lesbian, okay? You as a white man, you shut your mouth. But the Democrat Party is the party that actually supports men. But they're not allowed to question women. They're not allowed to go and push back against these narratives because, of course, if you're a white man, you gotta shut your mouth. And I'm a black lesbian. Did I not mention that? All right, I got all kind of protection layers and stuff like that. You white man.
No idea what he's talking about and is trying to rewrite history here.
Aisha,
I am
shame on you,
afraid,
Aisha.
as an American, of a Donald Trump
I'm
presidency
afraid as an
and
American.
his actual quotes
Shame
are
on you,
why.
Aisha.
Because I take him seriously and I think that he believes what he says.
And guess what? That proves my point. You saying you taking him seriously when you know you're not and you know you're making up lies. Unfortunately, the guy down in Florida took y'all seriously too. After you just got up there and said Trump's about to exterminate people, he's Hitler. Yeah, the guy up there in Pennsylvania took y'all seriously too. And many others are taking y'all seriously. But when Trump says they tried to kill me, Trump's lying. You just said that man want to exterminate people and all of that. So let's see what the results of all of their lies and propaganda and demonization of Trump has resulted in as we go.
And that is why he is a danger and a threat to America.
Aaron, you can't have a
right,
rational
let me just say,
discussion.
I appreciate
About topics.
Yeah, you can't have a rational discussion with these fake propagandists. So look at this.
Counting down to MAGA Republicans in Florida become socialists, begging for taxpayer handouts so they can rebuild in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that's the mentality that people have adopted these last 8 years because of stuff that we've been hearing throughout my live stream all night. This woman right there is excited about all of the stuff that happened to these MAGA Republicans down in Florida. Now they got to rely on taxpayers to rebuild, rejoicing over tragedies like this. Why do you think this woman feels okay to even feel this way? Where'd that come from? Huh? 8 years of brainwashing. That's where it came from. Listening to the stuff that we've been hearing throughout my live stream all night. And then to top it off, listen to this.
When I seen the hurricane hit North Carolina and Tennessee, the first thing I thought was, damn, there goes some racists. There we go. We got some gone. And then I just seen this video that like the area it hit is like sundown town after sundown town after sundown town. And they are just completely flattened and gone. And I was like, God's work. God's work.
God's work. Blasphemy. So now, you see the results of the left spreading dis and misinformation? You see the fact that they have convinced so many Americans to think it's okay to rejoice about this. They think that these people are really dangerous and they're racist. It's okay to celebrate them being killed, murdered. And you know what? Who cares if they don't get the supplies up there? Who cares if these people aren't able to go to vote? And they're not like us. And yet they're talking about we all got to live together after this. How are we going to live next to people who thinks like that? That's my question. How are we going to live in a society that has been brainwashed that Donald Trump is about to exterminate a whole race of people? And his voters all love it. Yeah, it's going to be violence. He's preparing for civil war. How are we going to live in a society that the Democrats and the left and these globalists and these deep state folks have created in our society? 10 years ago, none of these women or these people on the internet rejoicing over this. If something like that would have happened, the whole country would have came together and have remorse over what took place. But yet, when they unleashed this attack on conservatives and on Donald Trump, they've created such a divide through manipulation and propaganda that people are rejoicing to see folks on the right suffer and possibly even die. But yet we're not doing that. See, Trump goes out and say, yeah, they probably try to have me killed. And we didn't say, now let's go out and riot. Let's celebrate the liberals getting killed. We don't do that. It's them that do it. So we have a legitimate right to say, yeah, they try to have him killed after watching the crap that we just watched. So God bless y'all. God bless America. That's why they need to censor us. Yeah, all of this stuff that I revealed and dropped tonight, my whole narrative and commentary on this mess. You think they want to hear that? Heck nah. They would love to silence Kev. That's why I'm still at 199, y'all. But help me get to 200,000. So God bless y'all. Just please spread the word. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Share my videos. Follow me on all the other social media platforms. Let me see what else. Subscribe to my alternative channel. And I think that might do it, at least as far as I could think of. Love to all of y'all. But we can't let these folks win, man. We in trouble if they win. All right. Let me see what else. I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. And we'll go from there, okay? All right. So, hey, Gizmo. Yeah, today I brought the little stinker in here today. Yesterday I had to rescue the baby from him. But today he gets the spotlight. Ain't that right, Gizmo? Yeah. So anyway. See y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. Let's get out of here. Don't forget, text that number. Text MAGA to that number, okay? All right. So I rock the planet. This is awesome. Yeah. Take care.